Indeed, I think we are. I think we are. And official greetings and welcome to SEM Mondays, my open Q&A show every week, God willing, here on YouTube. Another clunky. It seems like we have this wonky weather pattern that leads to clunky technology. Gives Comcast a really hard time. So, of course, the most important thing is that you can see me and hear me. So please, if you're on a mobile device, shoot some emojis. I love emojis. The way they show up on my screen is really very, very, very cool. Or just type a yes, thumbs up. Let us know where you're joining from. I always look forward to SEM Mondays, which is kind of crazy because I've resisted doing this for the longest time, months literally. And now, even though it is, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes just to get here for the time that we do each Monday. My gosh, I think it is one of the really core components of source energy medicine and everything that we do. You know, I love that the free source energy medicine course is, I think, extremely thorough. And the reason why I say that is because the Q&A part of SEM Mondays is usually pretty short, right? More often than not, folks have questions, and Milo or I can simply direct those questions or direct the person with the question to content that's in the Quick Start Guide. So I love that the Quick Start Guide is available. You can access it from, you know, any device that you can connect to the internet. So literally anywhere in the world, and I love that free course contains everything that's really essential to your journey with source energy medicine. And I'm going to talk a little bit in the morning, it is morning for me, in the early part of this show this week about the special master class that is starting tomorrow, because there are a lot of last minute questions, really a lot of questions that have been going on, and I get it. It's a completely new masterclass. It's something that has nothing to do with any of our other workshops, and it creates that type of thing creates a bit of confusion. So, thank you. I guess that's Franco and Marina. Welcome. Thank you. They're joining us from Victoria, BC, and Barbara Ann saying hello, everyone, and hello, SEM Mondays from Ms. Rai. Welcome. And Judith saying good morning from California. Very cool. I am super glad you can see me and hear me, because I had my doubts not too long ago. Milo is juggling a couple of things, trying to help me to get going just moments ago, and I'm glad we're able to get this going. So, if you are indeed here with me live and you have questions, please go ahead and type them into the chat so I can make sure I can get to as many questions as possible with the time that we have together today. Again, I want to talk a bit about the most frequently asked questions that we've received about this special masterclass, and then we will have the opportunity to share in a group energy healing session, the non-material aspect of source energy medicine as it's known within our community. So, and I'll talk more about the energy healing when we get closer to that part. So I think a lot of the confusion with the new masterclass is, well, let me back up a bit. We have 4 online courses, 1 masterclass, soon to be 2 masterclasses. After tomorrow, we'll have 2 masterclasses. So we have the 2 fundamental source energy. Actually, we have the Quick Start Guide, right, which is the free course in source energy medicine. If you're totally new to source energy medicine, the link is in the show notes. You gotta check that out. It is literally, I mean, it's essential if you want to explore source energy medicine. I mean, you could certainly purchase pre-printed charging labels, but 99 out of 100 people don't purchase pre-printed charging labels. They don't buy hard copies of the book. They simply access the electronic versions inside the Quick Start Guide. So we have the Quick Start Guide, and then within paid content, right? The paid content is really how we support the organization, right? How I'm able to show up here every Monday, how, we're transitioning to a nonprofit organization, and then we'll be able to ask for your donations, even for those folks who aren't participating in our online workshops, just exploring the free course to support Source Energy Medicine, because it's a nonprofit organization, and that's how how we are able to function, right? But currently, it is from our online courses that we're able to offer. Really, what's in the free course is some of our greatest assets, right? Some of, I think, our most valuable assets are in there for free. So when we give away some of our greatest assets, we have to figure out another way of monetizing, because I'm not like, Bruce Wayne, gazillionaire guy, independently wealthy. I don't have a trust fund that supports source energy medicine. So it is indeed through our online workshops. So we have the 2 fundamentals workshops, which is where everyone starts. It's the next logical step after the quick start guide, and it enables you to achieve mastery of source energy medicine charging label technology. Both of those workshops are now available in what we call the Source Energy Medicine Mastery Club. And I did that during 2020 so that you have 3 registration options, and it's true for all of our workshops. The master classes are a different story, but the 4 online workshops that are multi-week, very in-depth, professional recordings, professionally edited, community forums, they're really, really outstanding. All of those 4 are available in a monthly membership, annual membership, or a lifetime membership, so that you can choose the option that's best for you based on your current life, what's going on, right? What's happening. So beyond the fundamentals, then we transition from charging label technology into energy work, and that's the non-material aspect of source energy medicine. And if you've experienced SEM Mondays before, that's the energy work that we have the opportunity to experience in abbreviated version on SEM Mondays. But on SEM Mondays, I'm able to focus on the things that are most important to helping to ensure your health and well-being during this pandemic. And really, it's not just focused on COVID, right? But everything that would be considered an acute condition. So 2 workshops for the non-material aspect of source energy medicine, part 1 and part 2. Everybody starts in part 1, and practitioners, or those who want to become practitioners, go on to part 2. The first masterclass that we produced was specifically to support folks during COVID, and yet it goes way, way, way beyond just COVID or just a pandemic. Not to downplay what COVID is and the impact that it's having globally, but it is a masterclass that's designed to really empower you to know what are the best practices, practically speaking, for you to be able to help to ensure your health and well-being on an ongoing basis, not just, in this current craziness. And then as well, we dive deep into really step-by-step. We have some excellent handouts for you, some very, very, very specific protocols to guide you to exactly what to do should any signs or symptoms of any acute condition, whether it's vomiting or diarrhea during the middle of the night, or a cold or a flu or COVID for that matter. So that's that masterclass, and we simply call it. I believe it's called the Emergency Preparedness Masterclass, right? The Source Energy Medicine Emergency Preparedness Masterclass. Now, this new masterclass, which is starting tomorrow, and I'm beyond excited that we're starting tomorrow, is work that has never been shared before, with the exception of the folks who have gone through the non-material source energy medicine part 1 workshop, then have the opportunity to participate in an alumni club, right? To be able to continue education, if you will, right? So stay up to date with the latest breakthroughs. And the content that is going to be shared in this new master class is based on really significant breakthroughs that have come from this non-material source energy medicine alumni club. So we've been exploring and experiencing and sharing that work for about the last 8 or 10 months. And I have wanted to take that and put it into a master class for probably the last 4 months. And now we have the opportunity to do it. Not only do we have the opportunity to do it, but intuitively, I get the sense that it is critically important for us to do it now. I don't know why, and I don't get the sense of like if you don't do it, like what the ramifications are going to be. It's like not that kind of thing. However, I do get the sense that for a lot of folks in our community, it's going to be certainly next most logical step. Will enable you to go far beyond what we are able to explore with our charging labels, and I'll explain a little bit why. And, for those who are part of our non-material source energy medicine alumni club, it'll be a bit of a refresher and a chance to participate again. But it's essentially that same stuff, right? So, and it'll be in a different context because it'll be in a master class as opposed to on our monthly alumni club webinars. And then it's going to be organized in the master class. So we have had some folks from the non-material alumni club who are participating in this new master class, which I absolutely love. Because if you think about it, everyone that's in the non-material source energy medicine alumni club has already laid the groundwork for the rest of our community. The morphic field is so pregnant with potential and opportunity, and it's significant in terms of the size and the momentum that we have building in there. So I hope that makes sense, because there were a lot of people who said, well, I registered for the Mastery Club, is that included? It's not included. It's a master class. It stands alone. And one thing that I absolutely love about both master classes, and one of the reasons why we're calling them master classes, is because they completely stand alone. Certainly, the emergency preparedness master class, you have to have the content from the quick start guide, right? But you don't have to have anything beyond the quick start guide to be able to really be able to maximize everything that's offered within the emergency preparedness class. So the master classes stand alone. They're not part of any workshops. At some point in the future, we'll probably offer the 2 master classes as a one offer kind of thing, but that's going to be a ways down the road, likely. The emergency preparedness master class, you can register at any time because there are folks finding source energy medicine, and you can start any time. And that's true also with the Source Energy Medicine Mastery Club. Rather than just opening registration a couple of times a year, it's open. You just have to let us know when you want to start, and we'll take care of all of the registration details and send you links and all of that sort of stuff. So I hope all of that makes sense. The new masterclass and the work that we've been exploring in the Non-Material Source Energy Medicine Alumni Club is very, very, very targeted. It's very specific. And the target is what I would characterize as my soul, which I believe is one of the eternal aspects of my being. The soul and the subconscious mind, I believe, are the 2 eternal aspects of our being. And there is a relationship there, and yet I do believe they are separate bodies, right? Separate parts. And then we are going to dive deep into our emotional body. Now, within the charging label technology of source energy medicine, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that we're influencing the soul or the spiritual aspect of my being, as I more refer to it within like my book, Heal Thyself. And we can't reach our ideal energy level without transforming emotion. And yet, the work that we're doing on the emotional body goes so far beyond what we're able to do with the energy level progression, source energy medicines, which are transforming slow energy emotions, which is how we transform the subconscious mind. And it's how we reach our ideal energy level. And if none of that makes sense to you, hang in there and check out all of the content that's in the Quick Start Guide, read my book, and you'll be totally up to speed. There's a bunch of really good videos for you to explore on our YouTube channel as well. So what I have come to know intimately and deeply is that our souls get damaged. They get damaged mostly by trauma, whether it's physical trauma or mental trauma or spiritual trauma, religious kind of trauma. Our souls get scarred and bruised and battered, and sometimes very severely damaged, right? And It's interesting because not only is this workshop applicable to everyone in our community, whether you're totally new or you've been around since 2004, but I think it's also applicable whether you believe that this is a one-time human experience, that there is nothing after this in terms of another life experience or a previous life experience. So whether you believe in reincarnation or not, it's equally applicable. And, I just look at my own life. I don't have to go to another lifetime to recognize, my soul, if there's a body shop, an auto repair body shop for a soul, sign me up kind of a thing. And, I think that's true for, an awful lot of humans. And yet, I do have a small handful of friends whose current lifetime, and these are folks, 60 years or more, who have had relatively traumatic-free lives, right? Their lives have been filled with a lot of grace, a lot of ease, a lot of well-being, a lot of abundance, and yet, when we talk about this soul work, they're intrigued, they're interested, and you do some energetic testing, and it becomes clear very, very quickly that the reason why they're interested, the reason why on a gut level, which I really believe is on a soul level, it makes sense, is because their soul is communicating to them intuitively that in spite of you having a really blessed life, your soul's damaged, which to me, I think builds really good evidence towards the our soul has other things that it embarks upon, so that it experiences, right? Other incarnations, and I'm not here to debate that and where and what our soul does, but you could read Dr. Michael Newton's book Journey of Souls, any of Dr. Brian Weiss's books. Dolores Cannon is material that I started exploring this year. All very interesting from my perspective, and all based on case studies, right? They're all, the first two I mentioned are highly, highly, highly credible and accredited professionals, and Dolores is just a fascinating story, but essentially, non-professional. Who learned hypnotherapy and started working with folks, and then found a rabbit hole and followed it. So it's quite fascinating. Or Anita Moorjani's book, right, Dying to Be Me, who had a death experience and came back to write about it and share that with us. And thanks to Wayne Dyer, she's become Hay House's #1 best-selling author. And I don't think that's true anymore, but it was for the longest time. So. Sent some emails about the shielding that we're able to do, these energetic shields that we're able to place around the soul, that we're able to place around the emotional body. And moving forward, this enables my soul to not be negatively affected by any other life experience that my soul has ever had or will ever have. And the same is true for my emotional body, right? My emotional body can take on injury from other life experiences. And it also, as long as I have a pulse, I'm going to be exposed to the potential for emotional injury, right? So it helps to shield our emotional body from actually holding on to that trauma or, the experience, because when our body holds on to it, it ends up being encoded in our cells, which go and build our organs and functions and systems, and to a large degree, that's where dis-ease comes from. So the other part that I mentioned in an email, and I thought it was kind of interesting because it's crazy to think about. It's like sci-fi, and yet it is. It's very, very real, and that's time travel. Einstein theorized that time, progressive time, linear time as we know it, watch Chronos kind of time, is an illusion of consciousness. He also described it as a really persistent illusion, and yet it's still an illusion. And he theorized, he was never able to prove it mathematically, but he theorized that all time is happening simultaneously somehow, almost as if it's in different layers or different levels or different dimensions. So if you read Anita Moorjani's book, her death experience was very, very strong, confirming evidence that Einstein was right, and that she saw that her soul had different experiences, different genders, and different periods of chronological time, and yet they were all happening simultaneously. They were all happening at once. They're not past lives and they're not future lives. They're all simultaneous lives. And I'm from my experience these last, I don't know how long we've been exploring this aspect. It's as if the isolation between each life experience, it's not great, right? It could be radically improved, and that's where the soul shield and the emotional body shield really come in. But what we do is within the non-material aspect of source energy medicine, and we really take advantage of this. We literally exploit it in the best way possible when we work on challenges, right? Whether it's a physical challenge, emotional challenge, spiritual challenge. The first question that our practitioners ask, that I would ask, is where's the most ideal point in linear time to work on the challenge? And sometimes it's a year ago, sometimes it's 60 years ago, sometimes it's in utero, and sometimes it's before that, which means from beyond extends beyond this life experience. And that's what we take advantage of when installing these shields. So we energetically time travel. We energetically go back to the moment of conception, moment of your conception, and we install the soul shield and the emotional body shield there. Once we transform, balance, and restore anything that could possibly be carried over from anything else, and then we fast forward to this moment in this time-space reality, integrate everything, balance and restore everything, double check to see if there's anything left to be transformed, balanced, or restored. And then the only way I can describe it is it's like hitting, I've been talking lately about the speed chess clock. It's like, hitting the big button in the middle that resets the game, right? Game over. Checkmate. Hit the big button, both of the clocks go back to zero, and the game begins again. And that's what this is like. It's like hitting a cosmic reset button, or the reset button on a stopwatch or a chess clock, in that we have the chance of staying in the same physical form, the same body, and yet everything's new. Everything is different. It has to be different. I can certainly consciously make choices that will still be poor choices, and yet with all of this work, it helps to ensure that my past is not going to influence my present reality. And when that's true, then it's not going to also influence my future reality. So, that in and of itself, if I had access to that, years ago, I would have paid tens of thousands of dollars just for that one piece. And it is a small and yet really significant part of what we will experience in the masterclass. So, the masterclass is $222. Everything will be recorded. You'll have long-term access to the content. It's a series of 4 live private webinars. We're doing that on Zoom. We're limiting registration so that I have the ability to support every single participant in the masterclass. And, if I were to work one-on-one with you and explore this same work, it's $150 for a single non-material source energy medicine session, and it would probably require 4 or 5 individual sessions, right? We would go probably a little bit beyond what we're able to do in the masterclass and being able to work on your individual goals and challenges, but it would end up costing 3 times, 4 times. I don't know what the depending on how many sessions it would take. It would take a minimum of 4 sessions, right, to do the same amount of work. So, that's $600 right there. And I get that $222 to some folks is cost prohibitive. We do have a limited Source Energy Medicine Scholarship Fund funds available. So if you really, really have deep and sincere interest in participating in this masterclass, and the $222 is cost prohibitive, we have a couple of options. We can break that up into 2 or 4 payments to make that more reasonable for you, more doable. And if that's not an option, we can see how much scholarship funds we have left. As soon as we become the officially or nonprofit organization, we're going to build up that scholarship fund back to what it was before COVID, because before COVID we had a kind of a nice, a comfortable scholarship fund that would always cover all of our launches for our online workshops. And right now it's kind of spare in there, right? There's sparse in there, not spare. There's spare change in there, sort of. And yet, within everything that I offer within Source Energy Medicine, I want every single person in our community to be able to participate in everything. And then the only question is, well, how do we have that happen, right? What do we have to do to make that happen? So just talk to me. Always, and anything moving forward, it's always the same story, right? Just talk to me, have a conversation. So I hope all of that makes sense. A lot of people say they want to participate, but they can't be there with me live or with us live. There's going to be the same potential, right? The same possibility watching it in replay versus watching it live. And again, you'll have long-term access to it. So if you're super busy right now and you're not going to be able to participate in the master class, you'll have access to the replays. Watch when you get to watch in your own time zone, comfort and safety of your own home. Go at your own pace. Rewind, revisit, replay, to your heart's content. So, it's interesting because that was probably frequently asked questions that I received. But that whole rant right there was covered, I think, everything. And if you're here with me live and you have a question related to the masterclass, just type it into the chat. Or if you're watching this in replay, you could always leave a comment, and I do my best to answer as many questions that get left in the comments as possible. So I'm going to pause there, have a sip of water. That was a whole lot of words coming out of my mouth. And there are friends Pam and Bill saying, "Hi, Stephen, so nice to be together." Thank you. And Pam is joining us from St. Thomas, Ontario. Welcome, Pam. Welcome, Bill. I don't know if Bill's there with us too, but welcome. Awesome to have you with us. And our friend Amanda joining us saying, "Hi all, happy day," with some beautiful emojis. Thank you. Love it. Really, really love it. Some beautiful spring flowers and hearts and thumbs ups and stars and sun and more spring flowers. I love it. Bless you, Amanda. Thank you for sharing all of that. And so I'm going to segue into the group energy healing session. And what I'll do is after the session, right before I come back on the live stream, I'll check the live chat and see if there are any questions that have come in, because there is a delay. So rather than me standing here sipping on tea or water, you could type away your questions, and I will circle back and check the chat thread before we wrap up for today. Yeah, I think we're good. So I think there's a couple of things that are really important for you to know. Well, if you're completely new to Source Energy Medicine, you know nothing about it, check out the Quick Start Guide. Links in the show notes. Within the Quick Start Guide, there's a video where I explain the non-material aspect of Source Energy Medicine, this energy work we're about to explore. There's also a video on our YouTube channel where same content, right, available in both places. And there is, I think, definite. So that we're going to focus on the things, right, the aspects that are most important to helping to keep you healthy during this health crisis, this pandemic. And you don't have to know what they all are. You simply have to be open to receiving these gifts, receiving these blessings, and potentially receiving miracles. A Course in Miracles teaches us there's no order of difficulty when it comes to miracles, because it is always you that is healing yourself. It is always that divine aspect in you. Right, that is absolutely part of your soul. There's no question about it. It's part of the subconscious mind as well. And it's that part that is connected to the source of all creation and can never be interrupted, not even momentarily, like a live stream. And it is that part that helps to animate you. And, I got to tell you, more often than not, the work is, when it comes to healing, it's on the resistance, subconscious resistance to that energy. It's subconscious resistance to, without resistance, our bodies are self-balancing, self-healing, and self-correcting. Marianne Williamson talks about this all the time, that the universe is intelligent, right? And our bodies are mini universes, and our bodies too are intelligent. Both the universe, both the earth, as well as our bodies can be self-balancing, self-healing, and self-correcting if we can get out of the way. And what we're getting out of the way is resistance to that, right? And there's a lot to the conversation. And again, you don't have to know all of the details. You don't have to understand it. You don't even have to agree with the philosophy. But it is I think it's interesting for you to know that whether you're watching this live or watching this in replay, the same potential, right? Same possibility, and there is definitely added benefit to watching this a second or a third time. Watching a replay from SEM Mondays, just randomly choosing one, and watching it once or twice a day, just as part of their daily wellness routine. I always encourage you to get as comfortable as you can. It's important for you to know that, yes, indeedy, as I mentioned, that you are always healing yourself. I am acting more as a guide and a friend, right? I'm helping you to remember stuff that you know and can't remember that you know. It's part of the amnesia of being born in human form. And it'll be probably about 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. I never know how long it's going to take once we get started. And on your end, there'll be a title slide up on the screen, and there'll be some chanting, so you'll just be able to auditorily know that our live stream is still going. A lot of folks like to lie down and close their eyes, and if that is appropriate and feels comfortable for you, then do that. However, getting comfortable and allowing and however you like to experience healing, that's what I strongly encourage. And if you don't feel safe closing your eyes, just please don't. Just find a spot to focus your gaze upon and allow your vision to soften a bit, and just get physically as comfortable as possible. Just breathe comfortably and, give yourself a little bit of a break. So I'm going to go ahead and get the technology set up on my end. And think about, while I'm doing that, I invite you to think about a single goal or a single challenge that you'd like to focus on for this session. And the reason why I like to choose just one is so that it's easy to track, right? Just really easy to follow in terms of measurable results. And also, if it has a location in your body, it's also, I think it's cool feedback to be able to feel sensations in that area. Although for, 999 people out of 1,000, they just feel peace and calm. They might feel energy moving, but it's not dramatic, it's not cathartic, because we're not fighting, we're not combating, we're not trying to kill anything. We're simply transforming darkness into light, slow energy into fast vibrating energy. So go ahead and get as comfortable as possible, and I invite you to take a nice deep breath. And I see in the live chat that Amana says no audio. Gosh, if you can, let me know if you can hear me. I don't know if something happened during that. My monitor is good, but I'm not sure if anyone is here with me live, if you still have audio. So if you give me a thumbs up or type something into the chat. Otherwise, I will go ahead and wrap this up for today, and then God willing, we'll be back here next Monday with some technical improvements. Here, YouTube, please, please, please. So I can't tell if anyone is still with me here. I'll just pause for another moment. Marty, very, 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 very good care of yourself. Be kind, be gracious, be generous with yourself and with others. I wish you continued blessings in your journey with Source Energy Medicine. Bye for now.